Here we are with another edition of the News and You. What's in the news and how it affects you, a prepper's perspective. Well, one of the first things I saw when I looked at the news this morning was farmers in flood zone frustrated that politicians failed to learn from last disaster. Now, this is speaking about the flooding in British Columbia, but it could apply to wherever you are. I'm sure there's lots of people in lots of areas, not just farmers, um, having an event of some sort, whether it's flooding, fire, whatever it is, drought, saying, well, why isn't the government doing more? These always make me shake my head because, I, the government has promised, in this case, apparently, to set up insurance for those living in high risk flood zones. And they're demanding answers as to why the government, or someone else, isn't learning from the past and preparing. Well, do something about it yourself. Take responsibility for yourself. Now, maybe some of these people have, but the first question I would ask them is, what have you done to prepare for this? First of all, if you're living in a high risk flood zone or a high risk anything zone, if you knew about that going into it, well, you moved into it. If you didn't know about it, you should have. You should have looked into it. Take responsibility for your own actions. Don't rely on the government. Prepare for yourself. Then work as a community, work with your neighbors to prepare. Start individually, then prepare as a family, then prepare as a community. Rely on each other, not the government. It is up to you. If you're in a high risk area, either prepare better or move. Everyone else's insurance goes up when insurance companies have to make huge payouts. I'd love to live in a super beautiful spot too, along a river or by the ocean or on top of a volcano or whatever. And then if anything bad ever happened, I have insurance that pays for it and I just rebuild and do it again. That doesn't seem fair to me. Do you trust government promises? So the government said they were going to do all these things and you said, okay, great. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing until they come and get me, come and protect me, come and save me and pay for a full rebuild. Take responsibility. Learn from the past yourself. Cold weather alerts. So interesting here in Alberta, we've had a bit of a roller coaster. It went from being very warm, like in the pluses for this time of year, which seemed a little bit odd, dropping down to, minus 30-ish with the wind chill, minus 20 ambient temperature as a high. And now today it was minus 18 when I woke up, and it's supposed to go up, I think, to minus 1. And then by tomorrow or the next day, plus 7. And then by the end of the week, back down to minus 19. So what can you take away from these things? Well, have backup heating methods. I've got a heat pump in here, which is the wrong size. When I had the house built, the installer put the wrong heat pump in. Still trying to get them to take responsibility and own up to their mistake, working with different companies and people and specialists, but I've got backup heating. So if the primary, if it were just to fail, I could put my backups on. Have some, do you have wood burning? Do you have gas? Kerosene heat? What do you have? Be ready with that. Ensure suitable clothing is ready and worn. Walked some horses across the field yesterday. Wind was howling. It was pretty cold, but it wasn't too bad in the walk because I was dressed appropriately. Went out last night. Drove to some friends. We were having a Christmas party, working on networking and community and being together and, sharing blessings with each other. Is your vehicle ready? Do you have your winter tires on? I threw my big, heavy insulated snow pants into the truck in case I had problems. Warm mitts, a blanket, lots of fuel, that kind of stuff. Turn on your lights, for Pete's sake. I still see people driving around in poor conditions with either no lights on or just their fog lights or their daytime running lights. Or maybe they've put their headlights on, but that was automatic probably because their tail lights aren't on, which makes it very hard to see them. Stop it. How can you call yourself a prepper if you're not even putting your lights on? It's free, it's easy, it instills good behavior in you. Do it. That's the safest thing and one of the biggest things you can do to decrease the risks of being in an accident and increase the safety of everyone around you, including yourself. People have to smarten up. So be ready for big swings. Again, Calgary is going through big temperature swings here. If you have animals, so for the horses, the ones we ride, we blanket them. And so you got to really watch. You've got to, take blankets off, put blankets on based on the temperature conditions. Um, checking on the chickens. Is their water frozen? How are they doing? Also, problems with the melt and freeze cycle. If you've got drains, if you're in the city, check the drain on the street. Oh, sure, it's the city's responsibility, right? If something happens, take a little bit on yourself maybe and walk out and say, I'm going to just be proactive here and shovel some of the snow away. Or if the ice is, if it's melting and freezing over top of the drain, watch all that stuff. Pay attention. Flu cases, double in Alberta last week. What's your plan to stay healthy? Whether you get vaccinated or not, whether you believe in vaccinations or not, that's not the point. It's not the issue. It's what are you doing to stay healthy? You have proper nutrition, so you're eating well and properly, getting lots of sleep, getting exercise, right? Maybe you like the natural remedies and ways to boost your immune system. Fantastic. What are you doing? Do you have an infectious disease plan? Right? Maybe you say, well, the holidays are coming up. We're going to have lots of people over. Do you say, well, I'm going to have less people over, or make sure they're not sick before they come over? Is that part of your plan? Or do you just say, I'm having people over regardless and I'll deal with it after? Is it part of your plan? Are your personal resources ready? Do you have masks? Whether you believe in vaccinations or not, or masks or not, do you have them? There may be a time when you need them. Do you have other air filtration? Water, food, and other essentials to enable staying home if required. If there's more shutdowns, for example, whether you believe in that or not, whether you voted for that or not with your elected officials, there are things that are beyond your control. So what is within your control? Well, if everything gets shut down again, or you're not able to leave for whatever reason, whether it's the flu, pandemic, bad weather, natural disaster, flooding, things we've talked about in this video already, can you stay at home? Do you have medications? Do you have all the things you need to be able to kind of wait it out and shelter in place? Do you seek alternative news, or are you purely mainstream? A lot of people I talk to say, well, I don't buy that. I don't think the flu's as bad as they're making it out to be. Great. What's your information source? And that you should do that with everything. Have multiple ways to get information. Tampered gift card recall. Lots again, especially at the holiday season, about people either being scammed by, oh, they wanted me to pay with gift cards. What business do you know, a legitimate business, that says, yeah, we accept payment in gift cards? Probably a scam. But now people are getting scammed with buying a gift card, and then when they activate it, the criminal who set up the scam, they get the money on their end, and your card is worthless. And this is on the rise. What would I do? Well, I would give cash instead of gift cards. Cash is awesome, right? We should all carry more cash. I think it's bad if we're moving to a cashless society. So for me, this is a good kind of wake up call to say, here, I'll just, instead of a $20 gift card for coffee, I'll give you 20 bucks. Floor crossing in politics. This one's always confused me. There's lots of focus right now, lots of to do in Alberta about people wanting, doing recall petitions, wanting the politicians that were just elected recalled. Is this like buyer's remorse? Right? Did you say, well, shoot, we didn't really we don't think it's a good idea now that we elected you. Okay, we elected you. So either you voted for the wrong person or you didn't vote at all, or your person didn't win, or whatever it is. So now people are demanding that these people be recalled. What, are they going to have another election? Should this not apply to floor crossers? There's been a lot recently in Canadian politics about parties gaining supporters because the MLAs and the different people involved, the politicians, are crossing the floor, becoming part of the other party. How can someone elected by their constituents under a certain platform to represent a certain party, certain ideals, certain perspectives, just be permitted to just walk across the floor and join the other side? Shouldn't there be an immediate re-election? They say, well, I don't like my party anymore. It's not about you, right? You're a representative of the people, allegedly. So I don't, I may not particularly care what you think, as long as you're representing what we, the constituents who elected you, want represented. You're our voice in Parliament, in the government. You haven't dissented from your own party. You've abandoned the people who voted for you. If I voted for someone and they say, well, I don't want to be this party anymore, I'm just going to walk across the floor and be the other party because they're promising me more. Or, I get along with them better. I would want you out. Separation of a nation. What is Canada going to end up as? Are we just going to become a nation of nations? How will that work? Right? Will it be like the European Union? We're just a bunch of independent countries. First Nations people are a nation. Quebec, a nation. Alberta, Saskatchewan, all talking about separating and becoming their own nations. There are countries with less people, less resources, and less land than any of these. Alberta, Quebec, Saskatchewan, they're all bigger than a lot of other countries in the world. Well, what can be done about this? What are your thoughts on this? Well, get politically active. If you think it's a good idea to separate, get active. If you don't think it's a good idea to separate, get active. You could be beat with the ballot. As that saying goes, certain groups will either beat you with the bullet or beat you with the ballot. So if you're complacent, you're going to lose. And prep hard. Keep working. It starts with you, the individual. The nation is the last step. Yes, you can be proud of your nation. You can fight for your nation. All of those great things. But it starts with you. Be prepared yourself. Then your family. Then your community. Then your province. Then your country. Work it up.